are in the heart of Asheville, North Carolina. One of the wonderful things about Asheville is that it is in this place that's so rich with farmland. So of course you have all of these local vegetables, and we also have plenty of local meat. But we have a lot of people here trying to figure out how to make their own way in this local economy. So they're taking all of these local products and making all of this great food that then goes into the local restaurants. So
I started to find out about all these farmers, and people just show up with stuff.
I mean, there were people walking in with stuff the minute they heard a restaurant open. I remember the first time one of her most iconic dishes on the menu is kale pakoras that people just freak out about. Well, it happened because a farmer walked in with a box of kale and said, "Can you use this?" So whether you like it or not, what's happening around here with our food scene and our farmer scene is going to impact you if you're going to be a restaurateur.
Suddenly there were preserves made from raspberries and wineberries that grown in the mountains. Local quail, local pork, local beef. And there's just been this groundswell of it. It's sort of a synchronicity or something.
John Fleer has, you wouldn't say that his type of cuisine is Southern, but Southern Appalachian, using very hyper local food. It has a sense of Asheville.
You know, our cuisine is defined by the food that's available to us. It's a little bit more restricted than what you might see as sort of broadly Southern food, but there are 24 Southern cuisine, and Appalachian cuisine is one of those. Jacob Sessoms at table, you know, he had a vision of doing a style of cooking that was, you know, oriented towards celebrating farms and makers and producers like we all do now, and he took a big chance. The coolest thing is that we're all operating out of the same pantry. Any chef that you talk to would pay homage to a community of producers and farmers and makers before they started to talk about their own restaurant.
That's the amazing thing about this region is we really support each other, whether you're a farmer or a chef or a potter, and we all can work together and create this beautiful experience as one.
Katie Button really has learned how to utilize the local food in her own unique way, in a way that has really caught the attention of the national writers on the national food scene. And people come from everywhere to go to that restaurant.
I think there's also a unique sensibility about respecting the ingredients and celebrating the community beyond the food, and that is that, you know, food is a cultural, a social act rather than just a singular experience.
Food is increasingly a way for people to connect to the world around them. And people also love to get to the very roots of the food system, which is why farm tours are becoming such a big deal. I think the thing that has really helped Asheville blossom as a big center of food culture is the fact that the ingredients are here, the palate's already here. So the local farms in Asheville, they of course inform the food scene. So a lot of people who come to Asheville love the agritourism aspect of Asheville, where you can go just see where the food is grown and see where the animals are raised. So all of these great chefs like John Fleer, like Katie Button, are moving here to open these restaurants in this area because it makes them happy.
When I got here, there was all this music, there was all this art. There just wasn't any breweries, and there wasn't any food. It started with the breweries.
There are so many breweries here in Asheville. There are beer festivals seemingly every weekend. There are tiny breweries everywhere you look. The brewery scene just exploded, and it has not stopped. Asheville's craft cocktail scene is really growing. They're using a lot of the local ingredients that we have in this area, and they're bringing them to the glass. We have excellent cocktail bars like the Imperial Life over table. We also have Sovereign Remedies, and just all sorts of great cocktail bars popping up all over the city. I think that everyone who lives in Asheville is quite proud of what we've built here.
Asheville's a really unique place of young entrepreneurs who move to the area to do what they love to do, follow their dream, and they create their business around it.
We have, I think, the most amazing community of farmers and producers and makers as anywhere else in the country.
A river runs north through Asheville, because rivers in the northern hemisphere are supposed to run south. That's why we have all these crazy people here.
I think that chefs in Asheville really want to instill a sense of place into their food. And I think that visitors to Asheville leave with a pretty full understanding of what we have going on here.
I feel like Asheville is the kind of town where a lot of people came here and found the courage to do something. Whether it was me with Indian food, whether it's the guy doing pottery. I mean, we're a community of artists, we're a community of sort of creative types. We all put everything on the line to do this. And this town is full of people like us.